Hi guys, and welcome back to our chakra yoga series. Today we're going to do a practice around the third chakra. It's called Solar Plexus Chakra, or Manipura, lustrous gem in Sanskrit. So the solar plexus chakra is typically associated with feelings of strength, of confidence, of self-worth, and it sits right above our navel and below our rib cage. So we think of this particular area as our center of power. And if we think about the elements and in their relationship to the chakra system, the root chakra, earth energy, the sacral, water, and this solar plexus area would be fire. So today we'll be exploring a heated flow type practice centered around our core area. We're going to transfer over onto the back now. So you can bring your block with you. Coming to the back, I'm going to bring the block between the knees, or if you're using a cushion, just squeeze into that cushion. So everything is already wrapped in tightly through the abdominals. Just by squeezing the block, we can turn on some of those deeper activators in the core. So keeping the back to the ground. Feel the navel draw in and up. I'm going to start to lift the feet up from here. Squeezing into the block. Good. Breathing in. Exhale in and up with the core. Good. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. All right. Let's take that block away now. Bring the hands back behind the head. And we'll start to lift the feet up all towards the ceiling. Again, you can keep your knees slightly bent. Lift the shoulders off the floor. And keep the head heavy, neck long. We're going to alternate legs, dropping towards the floor. Again, if you need to modify, you're just going to bend your knees. Straighten one leg out at a time. Keep your breath going. Let's try 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Relax. Take a big stretch out with the arms and the legs. Then we'll do this one last time, adding a twist this time. So either knees bent or legs straight up in the air. Lift the shoulders. And exhale to twist, right elbow to left knee. Come through center, twist. Okay. Alternating the smooth, fluid movement. Take your time. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, take a big stretch out. Feels really good after doing all that core work. And then we're going to bring the knees to the chest. Go ahead and rock yourself up and roll over into a tabletop position. So hands and knees. Start to move into your cat and cows here. So just lifting the chest, upper arm bones, spinning with you as you round into the back. Again, inhale, lift the chest, spin the eyes of the elbows forward. Exhale, round into the back, eyes of the elbows facing one another. Let's work through the spine. Just a few more breaths. Focus on that navel center here. Drawing the navel in and up as you exhale. Inhale, dropping the belly, heart lifts forward. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, round, scoop navel in and up. Inhale, heart rolls through. And sit back all the way into child's pose for a moment. Let's let those arms stretch out. Deep breath into the back. Good. And then inhale, we're going to come up to sit to the knees. If you can't sit comfortably on your knees, just take a block or your cushion underneath your hips. So now we're going to stretch out the wrist a little bit. And so take your right palm out in front of you with the fingers pointed down. And then like you're scooping in towards your navel, pulling the wrist down and in. We'll do that a few times, just moving, lifting up, flexing the wrist and drawing down towards the navel. One more time. And then turn your hand the opposite direction so the palm is facing you, fingers are down. You're going to do the same movement. Again, just warm up the wrist here. Squeeze the knuckles a little bit. Bending, extending through the elbow. One more time. And then shift sides. Shake that hand out. Now you turn your left fingers facing down, palm away, lift up, draw down. Bend the elbow, lift up, draw down. Just getting a little pressure through the fingers so you stretch the forearm. And then shift side, so palm face you. Fingers down, scoop in and down. This is such a good way to warm up your wrists for any practice, really. And keep squeezing the knuckles in together. Nice. And then release that, shake it out. Bring your hands to interlace together, and then we'll take big figure 8 movements with the wrists. Here's where you get all the snap, crackle, pops going on. Keeping the wrists together now. Bring the elbows into touch and do your best here to keep your forearms interlocked together. And we're going to make big circles. Just don't hit yourself in the face with your hands. I'm just imagining we're stirring a pot. Warm up those rotator cuffs, shoulders. Go the opposite direction. Full rotation, internal to external with the shoulders. All right, now shake it out. Let's come back into downward dog. So you can take the block away, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. Shake out your head, spread those fingers out facing forward. Nice deep breath. And then exhale, you're going to lower down, almost like you're going to land on your knees, but we're just going to hover the knees a couple inches off the floor. Hug the navel again, in and upward. Back is flat. Exhale, push the hips back and up to down dog. Inhale, lower down. Little hover. Again, just an inch above the floor. Make the quads work a little bit here. Exhale, push the hips back, down dog. Inhale out to floating tabletop. And make sure those hands are underneath the shoulders. Exhale, push back, downward dog. One last time, hold it. Take your full round of breath. Maybe you can walk your feet out a little bit here, stretch your backs of your legs. And then on your next exhale, we're going to bend the knees, step or float the feet up to meet at the top of the mat. Inhale to come out halfway. Exhale, bend, folding down again, the crown of the head drops. Now inhale, this time sit low into your hips, hip distance apart still. And then ground down through your heels. So put most of that weight back into the glutes. And then we're going to round into our spine. So arch your back. Fingers are facing each other, creating an internal rotation in the shoulders. Inhale, scoop the heart forward, lift the sit bones, and hug the elbows back. Exhale again. Fingers face one another round. Inhale, lift and elongate the spine. So we'll do this a couple more times, warming up the legs and the spine at the same time. Make the movement a little more exaggerated every time. See if you can sit a little lower. Make it a little faster. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in. Exhale, fold over your legs, shake it out a little bit. Nice. Now inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold down a little deeper. Inhale, slowly rise. Roll your spine up to stand. Roll the shoulders down the back. Lift the chest. A moment just to ground through those feet. And on your next inhale, stretch the arms up and back. Take an extension. Lifting out of the waist. Inhale, draw yourself back to center. Keep those biceps behind the ears. Now we're going to lean to the right. So reaching up and over to the right side. So to still the body, throat open. Inhale, from your core center, move yourself back up. Exhale to the left. Keep drawing the shoulders behind the ears. Spinning that heart forward. Staying with the breath. Again, solar plexus class. We hold the pose a little longer. Try to keep with it. Breathing up through center. Reach back one more time. Lifting the chest out of that waist. Exhale, hands to heart. With your next exhalation, start to move it back down into your fold. And from here, place the hands down, come back into your down dog. Again, hips go up and back. On the next in-breath, come down to your floating tabletop. Again, a couple inches above the floor with the knees. So a little hover. Now we're going to add on to this. Bring the knee to the left upper arm bone. And if you can, kick the foot out to the side. So hands are staying planted down on the ground, hugging the belly in, pushing the floor away. Come back to center. Float those knees again, a couple inches off the floor. Then cross left knee to the right elbow. Notice my right knee is staying hovered. Then kick out to the right side. Pause. Good, come back to center. Both knees stay hovered above the floor. One more time. Kick the knee to the left, right knee to the left, out to the side. Plant the left foot this time. Keep the hands rooted. Then come back to center. One more time. Kick the left knee out to the right. Plant the right foot. Push the ground away. And back to center. Sink the knees down. Lift yourself up. Shake it out. We're going to come into a couple of camel lean backs. So take your block, and we're going to place the block between the heels. Okay, so I want the block to be long ways as I place it between my heels, and then squeeze into the block. So we're activating a little bit more of the legs. Now bring the hands to your heart. Drop yourself back a couple inches. Hold it. Little fire going on in the thighs, in the glutes, and we're not dropping. We're not dropping and leaning back. We're keeping our body in one long line. Inhale, drop back to center. And exhale, lean back. Stay with it. Keep that breath going. Body is in this plank-like shape. Inhale, come back up. One last time. Exhale, lean back. Prevent that arching in the low back. Thighs are really active. Keep squeezing the block. Now we're going to take the hands and start to circle them back behind the hips this time. Press the chest up. Squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. Take your breath. And then inhale, start to come back to center. Sit down to that block again. Moment to rest. Neutralize the spine. And then we're going to come back onto our elbows and start to lower down onto the belly. Now I want you to keep that hold on your block, your heels onto your block. Lift yourself up into your Sphinx Pose. Press down through the elbows, lift the chest. And then exhale, we're going to lift our hips and our belly. So we're in this half plank. And I know a lot of you can go into a full elbow plank, but try to stay here in this low plank. Stay squeezing the block between your heels, drawing your tailbone back towards them, hugging the navel in and upward. Corset the ribs in. Take another breath. A lot going on here. Good. Lower it back down, back into your Sphinx Pose. I'm going to do that one more time. Press down through the elbows, the forearms. Make sure those elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Squeeze the block. Mind, muscle connection. Good, let it go. Come all the way down onto your belly this time. Now we're going to keep a hold of that block between the feet. Just plant your hands down by your sides. And forehead can come down to the mat, and then take it up with your legs. Squeeze the block. Squeeze your glutes. Good. Exhale to lower down. Now we're going to come up with the upper body this time as well. So inhale, lift the chest. Lift and squeeze the heels into the block. Good. And release. Good. Let go of your block. Shimmy your hips side to side. Hands come back by the chest. Lift up into Cobra. Good, exhale, push the hips back, come back into downward dog. You can take that block away now. And center the right foot off here. I'm going to take the left foot up to the sky. Start to bend the knee, stack open the hips. And then on your next exhale, cross the left knee over to the right elbow. Inhale, back up to the sky. Open up the hip. Exhale again, over to the right elbow. Inhale, back up to the sky. One more time. Bring the left knee over to meet the right elbow. Hold it this time. Plant your right foot on the ground. And then see if you can take the right arm up. Maybe hover that left knee towards your chest. If you need to modify, drop the knee down to the floor. Good. Bring the right hand back down to the floor. Left foot steps up to meet at the top of the mat. Good. So we're going to come up into a high lunge from here. So center your hips over your shoulders. This is going to be a longer hold. So it's important to stay with your breath. Try to make your breath slower, more relaxed. That'll help you ease into the posture. Good. Hands can just be at the heart. If you want to drop your back knee for a little extra heat, try that. Legs are locked in. From your center of power, sink a little lower. Good. Exhale, bring the right elbow now over the left knee. Little tap. Straighten your right leg out if it isn't already. Now if you want to modify here, you can always take your right hand down to the block or the floor. Keep squeezing, pushing the hands together. Squaring the hips. Keep your gaze focused at that left big toe. That'll help with your balance. See if you can sink a little lower, stacking that left knee over the ankle. And then release. Bring both hands back down to the floor. Slide the left foot back to meet the right. Down dog. Take your round of breath. And then we're going to go right into the opposite side. So left foot centered, right leg up to the sky. Bend the knee, stack open the hips. Exhale, rock forward. So shoulders over the hands and then twist. Left knee to right elbow. Right knee to left elbow. Lift it back up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Try to get a little higher into the upper arm bone. Inhale, back up to the sky. One last time. This time we're going to add the kick. So bring it out to the left. Kick. Pause. Plant your left foot. Good. Keep that weight, right hand over the under the shoulder. You can take that knee, hug it in towards your chest, hold it. Or you can drop the knee to the floor. So that's more modified. Good. Bring the left hand down. Right foot steps up to meet the top of the mat. Breathe in. Start to rise up. High lunge. Drop your back knee. Again, just a couple inches off the floor. Dropping the tailbone straight underneath us. Just a slight tuck. Tall spine. Calm your breath. Slow it down. This time bring left elbow to the right thigh, straighten out the left leg. Press firmly, hands into each other. Again, modify. You can bring a hand down to the floor. Keep pressing the palms in towards one another, belly away from thigh. Opening that chest up towards the sky, sink a little bit more forward into the right foot. You can do this. Nice. Bring the hands back down to the ground. Let's step it back. Down dog. Full round of breath. Exhale, lower the knees down. Sit back into child's pose and get that sweet rest. So again, even though we aren't doing much transition work, there's a lot of strength going on in just holding the poses. And once you've calmed your breath back down, you're going to start to walk those arms straight out in front of you. Lift the elbows off the floor and keep stretching the fingertips towards the front of the mat. And walk the hands out to the left side, reaching long. And then over to the right. Walk the hands back through center. This time bring the elbows down to the ground. And we're going to come into Dolphin Pose, so either hands clasped or flat to the floor. Make sure that your hands are elbow or forearm distance apart. And then we're going to come up into Dolphin Pose. So lifting off the knees, start to walk the feet in a little bit closer towards your face. And this is all in that solar plexus area, as that's where all the power is coming from in this pose. Notice your center of gravity. Feeling that suctioning in, corseting in of the rib cage, expanding as you inhale. Good, strong upper body. Shoulder blades drawing down and together. Nice. Exhale, lower the knees down. Start to lift yourself up onto the knees. All right. So we're going to come back into that camel pose. It's up to you if you want to use the block again. You can place it between your ankles or your heels. Squeeze into the glutes, into the legs, hands to the heart. And then gently lower yourself down, keeping the spine still in that plank-like position. Ribs tucked in, not jutting out. Thighs are still on fire here. And then we're going to bring those hands backstroke onto your low back. Or you can come back onto the block with the hands and then just start to open the chest. Lift the heart. Gently come back, hands to hips. Sit yourself down to the block again. Reorient and realign the spine. Catching your breath, let the heart rate come down. Good. Walk the hands forward. You can take and come down to the belly again. So lower the elbows, walk the legs back. If you're using the block, kick that block between the heels again. So up into Sphinx Pose. Then press down into the forearms, start to lift the belly into half elbow plank. Again, hands can be together, down on the ground, whatever you prefer. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Maybe even lift off of the knees if you can, if it doesn't bother your back. Good. Exhale to come down all the way, lifting the chest. One last time, press down through the forearms, the elbows, lift the hips, the belly, maybe even the knees. Keep that curve out of the low back so we're pressing the tailbone towards the heels. And release. Whew. All right, come down all the way, hands back by the hips. Full run of breath. Back widen. Soften. And we're going to keep those heels together. Pinch the block. Lift the chest. And come up into Locust Pose. So you can keep drawing that chest forward. And then I'm going to ask you to swim your hands back by your rib cage. Squeeze your shoulder blades a little bit more firmly towards one another. And then imagine you're trying to push your belly off of the floor. So just a little bit of effort into the hands, drawing your chest forward. Come out of the way. See if you can get your whole abdomen off the ground without pushing and straightening out your arms. Good. Exhale, really slow down, soften. It's harder than it looks. Let's take those hands back by the chest. Come up into full cobra. Nice long extension. And exhale, push the hips back, find child's pose, and take that block away. Recovering your breath. We're going to do one last flow. Walk the arms forward. Take it all the way up and back to down dog. On your next inhale, bring the right leg up to the sky. I'm going to bend the knee, stack open the hips again. Inhale, roll forward, elbow to left. See if you can kick out from here. Again, plant your left foot. And then start to move that left arm up to the sky. And maybe here you can take that right foot and let it hover off the floor. You can bend the knee for modification or drop it down on the ground to modified side plank. So either one of those options. Try to hold, pause, take a breath. Good, bring that left hand back to the mat. Kick the right leg back to the sky. Open the hip. Inhale, begin to roll forward, shoulder stacks over the hand. Right foot goes back behind this time. And come into wild thing. If you want to modify this, you can come down to the left knee. Exhale, take that right hand back down to the ground. Step back down dog. And then bring the right foot up to meet the hands. Again, another breath here. Get light with the fingertips. Stay low with the body. We're going to come up very slowly into our high lunge. Move the arms first, out and back. Little hover. Inhale, start to move all the way up. Interlock the fingers as you get to the top. Lift the chest. Nice. Going into a little balance here. Tip yourself forward into warrior 3. Again, pop off the back toes. Maybe you just hover or just lightly are planting those toes on the floor. Or you can lift off the back foot and come into that full balance. Notice the standing leg isn't fully straight. We're keeping that weight into the right glute, into the hamstring to even off the hips. Good, find your focal point. Back toes to the floor. Slowly release. Left foot down. Hands back to the mat, step back, down dog, and then take a rest in child's pose again. Once you've recovered your breath, again, pause the video if you need more time. We're gonna come back up into down dog and do the left side. So, left leg up to the sky. Bend the knees, stack open the hips. Exhale, left knee to the right upper arm. Hold that cross. Kick the foot out if you'd like. Plant your right foot on the ground and lift the right arm. You can hold here, or maybe take that right foot or right knee off the ground. Again, this is more modified with the knee on the floor. Suction your inner thighs together, keep breathing. And then take that right hand back down. Lift the left leg back up to the sky one more time. Roll forward, shoulders stack over the wrist. Left foot taps behind the right. Flex the right foot, lift the chest. Wild thing. Exhale, circle the hands back down to the floor. Left foot up to meet the top of the mat. Slowly coming up. Light with the hands, reach the arms back. Make a diagonal from the crown of the head to the back heel. Rising up, interlock the fingers behind the back, lift the chest. And then we'll keep going from here. So hip forward, weight to that left foot, start to push off the back toes. Hips stay centered. Again, bend into the left knee to get more balance in your hips. Spreading out your left foot on the floor. Nice. Release that right foot slowly. Hands back down to the ground. And find down dog. All right. I'm going to cool things down now. So inhale, roll forward to plank. Slow hover down into the belly. Release the arms. Take a moment to rest. Feel the heartbeat in the abdomen. Let it slow down. It's one of the most stimulating poses for the solar plexus is bow pose, and we've been working our way up to that. So we're going to take bow pose on our belly and then cool things off from there. So bend the knees. You can reach back for your heels if you can't quite touch your ankles. Just imagine that connection. Otherwise, you're going to push your feet into the hands and start to lift the chest and head. And you can tell why this is so stimulating for the solar plexus. All of that weight is there. Shoulder blades staying hugging back, straightening the arms by pushing the feet into the hands and lifting the legs up overhead. Good. Exhale to come down, soften. Shake out your hips a little bit. And then we're just going to turn ourselves over onto our back from here. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Let those knees sink deep and heavy into the belly. And then extending the legs up towards the ceiling. Grab the backs of the thighs, the ankles, wherever you can hold on to. And just draw your feet towards your face. It's a great stretch for the lower back. Let's do a few more rounds of breath. And release the feet back down to the floor. And take any final poses that you need to. Otherwise, just come to your resting position, whether that's lying down or seated. And let all of the muscles unwind, untense. All of that heat, that built up fire in the body, simmer down. Taking a deep breath in through the belly. Maybe even placing the hands on top of the solar plexus, right above the navel. Breathing into that area of the body. And imagining this warm, yellow light from the solar plexus radiating out into your hands. And repeating back these words of affirmation to close our practice today. Breathing in the words, I am. Exhaling, confident in myself. Again, breathing in the words, I am. Exhaling the words, powerful and strong. And thank you so much for practicing today. Namaste.